Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New York Empoleon semifinal battle of the PBAL. We are here this week taking on the West Snom United, or West United Snom. I can't remember which one it is. Coached by Ethan, and we are so ready for this battle. I am so pumped up about the fact that we are in our first semifinal battle of Generation 8 in the first Wi-Fi league that I have managed to get through to the playoffs, like in the season, not just like qualified, but like the season that I've been able to participate in has made it to playoffs, and I'm here and I'm ready. This team is so much fun and I love it so much. I'm actually really enjoying. I know people are upset about like pre-home Generation 8 meta and stuff, and technically this league is post-home, but it's just, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun doing Wi-Fi battles, and I know that leagues and draft and people are getting worn out and drained. I'm not having any of that. I actually have been loving every team I've been using. I didn't really upload them, but the other two leagues that I did so far that made it to playoffs were the KSL, which I qualified for playoffs on a technicality because some other player who was above me kind of just went MIA for the last like 2 weeks of the season, and then they let me have it even though I was a seed below. Lost in the quarterfinals there. And then I made it in APA Evolution. I actually legitimately qualified, I think, as the 5 seed, but I lost to the 4 seed there in the quarterfinals as well. So this is my first semifinal battle of Generation 8, but my third playoff appearance, first one on YouTube, so first league that I'm actually uploading for that. So anyway, I don't want to stall or anything, but I just want you guys to know that I am so excited to be doing this with you guys. And if there's any feedback on lighting or anything like that, please tell me. I don't have it all nailed down yet on how I want to do lighting in this new apartment. As if you didn't watch the team builder, I'm in a new apartment. You might have figured that out already by the fact that it looks totally different in the background. And so I just need to get things down and figure them all out. I think I'm a little bit overlit right now. It's all natural lighting, so it's hard to like manage it because if the sun goes down or the clouds come out, I'm actually just going to become very dark. So I'm having a trouble managing that right now. I don't have a light in the right place to not use natural lighting at this time. Working on it. But anyway, I will see you guys all back here in a second when he accepts this challenge and we are ready to go. I am so excited to be doing this. If you don't know my sets or you want to know anything about them, go check out my team builder. Link's in the description below, as is his link. And I just want you guys to know, whatever happens here today, this team was a hell of a lot of fun to use, and anyone who has a chance to draft Dragapult should do it. Things broken. And if you get the chance to draft Surfetch, things broken, you should use it. Anyway, I'll see you guys back here in a second. All right, everyone, welcome back. A second before I clicked let the battle begin, just so you guys are with me as we experience this whole semifinal battle together. So let's jump right into it. Let's click let the battle begin. Good luck to my opponent, and let's get into this battle. Let's see what he's got. He's bringing the Hippowdon, Rotom, Scrafty, Weavile, Excadrill, and the Turtonator. So no Roserade. Oh, this is amazing. I mean, I'm not excited. There's no guard. There's no Roserade. The Rotom is honestly probably the biggest threat to my team. Obviously Excadrill is a huge problem as well, but Rotom's a nuisance. I have to deal with that thing. But with no Rose, no guard, okay. His team is incredibly physically offensive except for the Turtonator, so I've got to watch out for that, but Steelix is going to be really, really good in the mid to late game if I can get it set up with an Iron Defense, and I can get rid of that Turtonator earlier. So right off the bat, his possible leads are Hippowdon and Rotom. Those are the two I see leading. I could lead with my... Let's see. How do I want to beat the Hippowdon early game? Because I kind of want to lead with my Steelix, expecting him to lead Rotom, but he could easily lead with the Hippowdon. Could lead Pult and just go for a U-turn on either of those two things. But then I mean, I'm guaranteeing I'm going to go for a U-turn no matter what. Whereas I could also lead with the Braviary, and if he leads with like Scrafty or something, then I'm able to not necessarily click U-turn, or at least more threateningly click U-turn. But if he leads Rotom, then I'm scared. So I'm just going to click. I'm going to lead with my Steelix, which was sort of my plan from the beginning. And we're going to see if we can get rocks up early. They're not as good against his team, but chipping down that Weavile and Turtonator, which are two of the biggest threats, would absolutely help. That being said, everything else basically resists. So, oh, that's a sweet trader card, dude. I respect that. All right. I haven't changed my training card since literally day one. I'm not even sure how I would do that. So, Condor, that is the Rotom, and this is actually a lead that my team was prepared to deal with. Specifically, the Steelix set is prepared to deal with a Rotom lead. Crunch, Sheer Force boosted. It's going to do like 70 to 80% if he's not invested, or if he is physically defensive. It's probably going to do like 60%. If he goes for the Will-O-Wisp and misses, that's ideal. If he goes for the Will-O-Wisp and lands it, I do have access to the Lumberry, and will still do a huge amount of damage with Crunch here. So we're just going to eat that Lumberry right up, not have to deal with that burn, and go for a big crunch. It depends on his spread. Let's get a really good gauge of what his spread is. Looks like he's not defensive. Maybe max HP. Now, if he goes for another one, then he's just going to die. Otherwise, he's going to have to switch into something else. Nothing else wants to take a body press, but I can't really just reliably click that right now. So I just get to click crunch again. Or I can just click rocks here, although he's just going to be able to defog. So I'm just going to click crunch again. We know he's Willow. We know he's not leftovers. I don't know what item he is. Not not Colbur and not leftovers. AZ, which is the Hippowdon here. So this is an opportunity for me to potentially just click Iron Defense or just Stealth Rock here. Rocks seem really, really good. Crunch is going to do literally nothing. I could also switch out at this point, potentially into something like my Lapras, which can then go for a Surf, which is incredibly free against his team. He literally doesn't have a single resist to it. Oh, that makes me not want to just switch it in on a big hit. Although then I have to deal with Rocks if I don't switch it in right now, so Surf seems incredibly free. I could just go for an Iron Defense here. I will underspeed this thing and take like 30% from an Earthquake if he does go for it. But if he doesn't go for it, then I can just click Iron Defense and freely get to +2 defense. And then he can't really break through me at all. And if he's physically defensive, which that crunch damage shows that he likely is physically defensive. So there's the Earthquake. So we're going to take like 30% here. Which, yep, looks like it. And that's fine. The next one's going to do like less than 20%. Actually looks like a little bit more, but that's sort of within the range of what I'm expecting. So I can just click Iron Defense again. He's not going to be able to break through me at this point, and then Body Press can 2-hit KO. Body Press actually might be able to 2-hit KO anyway. He's at like 90% right now. Low chance to 2-hit KO. We know he's not leftovers, though. So actually, what item? Oh, you're probably the sand growth thing. So Body Press is free. Totally free. Stealth Rock is also pretty free here. And Body Press would be a chance to 2-hit KO. And it would still be a 2-KO anyway, even if I go for another one. So I'm just going to Stealth Rock here. And we actually show that it's a speed tie right now. Or he's whirlwinding. He's whirlwinding. Okay. Yeah, I figured that out after I said, like, there's no way we speed tie. That's like literally impossible. Earthquake, Whirlwind. I'm glad I got the rocks up then. And Surfetch comes out. That's not what I wanted to come in here at all. But it actually does threaten his team quite well, so... Leaf Blade's doing a lot of damage. That's all there is to it. To whatever. He could go Turt. If he goes Turt, he goes Turt. I'm going to switch out anyway if he does that. I'm not going to stay in on that thing. Since... Although I do outspeed it. But Leaf Blade's doing 10%. So... But he doesn't know if I'm going close combat here. Close combat would do like 50% of this, plus there's a chance I crit. And then it would do 50% of the Turtonator and then kill that. So he can't necessarily safely do that. And if he does decide to stay in with this Hippowdon and takes a lot of damage from this Leaf Blade, then there's a chance I can close combat the following turn, depending on what the roll I get here. And we're going to be able to be good from there. I can't stay in on the Turtonator. This thing is so important. Although even a... Ooh, he's a Rindo. Okay. That's fine. So we get rid of that. What are you going to go for? Earthquake? Okay. And we see that doesn't quite 2 KO even after another round of sand, so we can just stay in here and go for another Leaf Blade that should take it out from there. If not, we've put this thing in a range where the Excadrill becomes much less of a problem because this thing can't really switch in. Even if we don't get the kill, quite get the kill, but it should do a minimum of 52% without that Rindo Berry. And so... yeah, he just looks like he's physically defensive, so now that he has no item at all, we are going to be able to get a big Leaf Blade off. He could go out into his Turtonator at this point. That's a safe play now that he knows that I'm clicking Leaf Blade and I have to click it in order to kill. But I'm not going to worry about that Turtonator coming in. It takes a little bit of chip from that. It takes the 25% from Rock, so it's down to 50% or like 60%. And then it can't take a crit close combat and at all, and may not even be able to take a non-crit close combat. So it might be able to stay in, although I'm running very little speed and he could be running some, so I'm not going to necessarily do that. But that being said, I think putting this in range is absolutely fantastic. Leaf Blade comes out and is going to not quite pick up the kill, but it can't switch into rocks again. And he's going to be able to get off another Earthquake here, which is really unfortunate. And we are going to go down to 13. Sandstorm's going to subside, which means that the Excadrill doesn't get Sandstorm at any point. And it means I don't take Sand Chip here. I could just go for a close combat and be able to finish this thing off and potentially hit the Turtonator switch. But if the Rotom comes in, that would be bad. I don't think he's going to switch out. I don't think he has a reason to at this moment in time. So I'm just going to click Leaf Blade again. If he does switch out, then his thing is just death fodder, and it can't set up sand again. So that's superb. That's actually just phenomenal for me that this thing is in this range. I just kill it, and then Excadrill I don't have to worry about as being super fast. I can handle it with other threats. Things like the Scarfed Braviary now outspeed the Excadrill. That's incredible because Rotom is his only way of checking the Braviary at all, and Rotom already took 70%, so it can't come in on Brave Bird. It can come in on a close combat, but if I just U-turn out with the Braviary the first time, he didn't set rocks with this thing, and he doesn't have rocks on anything but Excadrill, and if he's running rocks, Excadrill, and not sand, and like this was not a sand team, then I'm all out of sorts, you know, like that's just crazy to me if he's doing that. But he is going to switch it out. He can't set up sand again because it'll die on rock switching, although he could have removal. So there's the Turt. Are you Rocky Helmet Turtonator would be the one thing that would ruin my day here, because this is going to do nothing. And no Rocky Helmet, so I could just go for a close combat, get big damage off, or I could just switch out into something like my Lapras here. To try to take a hit from this thing. I think Surfetched, I want it to be able to hit in Trick Room, but he brought a really slow team, all things considered. And so I'm just going to go for the close combat, try to do huge damage on this thing. And yeah, that's not a crit, unfortunately, so we didn't get the 50% crit chance. But if he tries to like Shell Smash or something, then... so there's the Rapid Spin, which is obnoxious, but it isn't the end of the world. So now Turtonator dies to Braviary, which is fantastic because I can just click Brave Bird here, and Excadrill's his only thing that can come in on a Brave Bird right now, and I don't think he's going to switch that thing in, not knowing what my item is. Although Turtonator... Yeah, close combat would be too much of a roll for me, so I'm just going to go for a Brave Bird here. And at +1, this thing's not guaranteed to outspeed me anyway. So yeah, he could go into the Excadrill after this, or even on this, but it's going to take 50% from the Brave Bird. Getting rid of the rocks is huge for him. I didn't really consider the fact that he could just spin that easily, but he will be able to come in with the Hippowdon and set up the sand again now, which is super frustrating. I don't know if he's going to stay in or not. He is going to stay in, so we are going to be able to take out the Turtonator. And we do still have the ability to come in with the Steelix again later. So Braviary kills Turtonator. Oops. Turtonator with Brave Bird. I have to write down that Turtonator kills Surfetched with Rapid Spin. That's embarrassing. Now, I don't know whether he knows that I'm Scarfed at this moment in time or not. There's no guarantee that a +1 Turtonator with no speed investment, which we know from my my Surfetch set that this thing has basically no speed investment, would even outspeed a Braviary that isn't Scarfed. So I'm not as worried about him knowing that I am Scarfed. And he is going to go out into the Rotom at this point. We know this thing... Do we know this thing isn't Scarfed? We actually don't know if this thing is Scarfed or not. And that's not a risk I'm willing to take. When I can just go into the Steelix anyway. Because he can't Volt Switch off that. Sure, go for a Willow. I'm still going to mostly want to be spamming Body Press anyway. And this will allow me to set up rocks here. So there's the Willow. I don't know if he's Scarfed. That's why I decided not to stay in there. Would have been nice to kill the Rotom, though, to be honest. He's probably just going to switch into his Powdon at this point. But I'm just going to set up rocks again. I'm not going to worry about the Rotom in front of me. He could Hex now. Then I know he's not Scarfed for later, which is great, and I have the rocks up. I'm not going to die to one Hex from this range. It does put my Steelix in range where it's not going to be able to do as much damage as I wanted it to later. But Hippowdon, I feel like, has to come in right here. And if it's not Hippowdon, it's Scrafty. Okay, so then does he have another remover? Because now that I've killed his Turtonator, which I didn't even realize got spin, if we're being honest. Scrafty comes out. That thing's probably going to want a Dragon Dance. I could set up an Iron Defense. How much is Body Press doing to a Scrafty? Drain Punch isn't going to kill me. Body Press is doing 72 to 86% from neutral. So I kind of just want an Iron Defense here. And even if you Dragon Dance, I don't really care, and then I can Body Press and just kill you. There's a Bulk Up. Okay, now we're looking at like weird calcs here. Because you'll get to +2. Before, well, if you go for another one, you get to +2, and if you don't go for another one, then I kill you with Body Press. So those are your choices here. And if you get to +2, you still don't kill me, even after more burn, with a Drain Punch, and I'll kill you with Body Press, Drain Punch, Recovery, Body Press. So we're good. He could go back into Rotom. That thing doesn't really threaten me, though. It hasn't shown the Hex, which is really, really nice. And I'm still thinking he may be Scarfed. Scarf Willow. Which would be an amazing little play right there. But once I can get that Rotom out of here, man, that Lapras looks really good. It can take a hit from the Excadrill from full. Yeah, I can take an Earthquake, a Choice Banded Earthquake. I think it's probably going to be Life Orb, but I can take 2 Life Orbs. So there's another Bulk Up, so you will potentially survive this depending on your spread. I have it at like max HP, max attack. Chople, okay, so we're gonna... I mean, again, we're still looking at... Well, maybe not, depending on rolls here, but I'm still able to survive a Drain Punch from here. I don't think I want to Iron Defense, though. I just want a Body Press. Look at all these berries, though. This guy's got berries up the wazoo. Little berry farmer. Okay, so Chople Berry's been eaten. He's got the Bulk Up, but Body Press now is going to be doing... I mean, even if he bulks up again, it's doing 50%. And I'm still going to survive one hit from this thing, even at the burn damage that I'm at, since we're looking at like 30%, and we're doing like 60% with a Body Press. And so one option would be the really risky option, go Dragapult. That does nothing. Okay, he's defensive. Yeah, he's defensive. That does literally nothing. So I could go Dragapult here. And I feel like I want to make that play. Dragapult may not kill from there anyway, though. But I could go Dragapult. I could click a U-turn. But then what do I go back into? Right? Because I just don't want him getting the Drain Punch recovery, is honestly where I'm at right now. So I'm going to go Pult here. He could bulk up again, but Pult coming in can threaten him really nicely, which is good. I don't have the Draco, but Draco can kill from here if he's max HP, max physical defense. And so that's what I'm threatening to do, which is obviously a big deal. So we're going to switch out our Steelix here. Thing can still take a hit. It needs to in a pinch. We're going to go Dragapult so he can't get the Drain Punch or go for the close combat. Goes for another bulk up. This man is greedy. This man is greedy. So, yeah, Knockoff's doing 300% minimum. H-Pump does a lot of damage to this thing. Spammable against his whole team. Draco would also have been spammable against his whole team. I could just U-turn, preserve this thing. I could just go for like a Fire Blast, try to get a burn here. I'm not sure what the best play is. It looks like H-Pump will not kill. But I do have Mons that outspeed still, right? Like the Braviary, which, well, I need damage on this thing if I'm going to bring in the Braviary. So I'm just going to click Hydro Pump. If I miss the Hydro Pump, we're in bad shape, but we're just going to click it. Okay, he does decide that he wants to stay in and risk that Draco Meteor coming out and put that thing... He's got Rest? Oh, God. Okay, he's Shed Skin, Rest, Bulk Up. Okay. And he wakes up first turn. Are you kidding me? Do I lose? Do I just lose? I don't have a way to beat this thing. Do I... Does not having Draco Meteor cost me the game here? Cost me the season. This is the turn that I need to make a decision here. So I could go Steelix. But if he's got Knock and Drain Punch, I can't break this thing. The only way I could break this thing is with my Reuniclus. I should have just kept Iron Defensing, I guess. Yeah, there's the knock. But it's not gonna mattering. I'm not sure how I'm gonna break this. A crit from Brave Yari is my best play here. So Scrafty kills Steelix with knock. Oh no, Steelix dies to burn. Steelix dies to burn from Rotom. I mean, yeah, Brave Yari crit. That's going to be one option. Lapras outspeeds this thing, potentially. And I can go for a Surf. But we're just going to go for a Brave Bird. If we crit, we're good. We're in good shape. If we don't crit, we're really, really screwed. I think he may have this one. I don't know what to do. And he's got the Mon advantage now. So if I crit, I mean, I can win this game. But if I don't crit, I don't see a path to victory here. I'm not sure what he's afraid of, what he would be hesitating on. Because a crit should kill. Yeah, a crit definitely would have killed if that's not a crit. But if he's got, like, Drain Punch, yeah. I'm not living a +4 Drain Punch. There's no way. And I'll never try to... I admit, guys, I will never try to play for timer. So we're just going to let this guy get the victory he deserves. This did not go as I had expected. I am going to actually go for a Trick Room here, since that would be another... You know, maybe if he misses his knockoff for some reason. Obviously, that's my best option right now. Maybe I should Dynamax. No, this... Ah, man, the rest. If I just had Draco, I thought he'd be afraid of Draco, but apparently he had no fear. This guy had no fear. Yeah, no, if I had the Draco, I really considered it, but it just didn't have great coverage. It was neutral against most of his team. So the knockoff's going to come out. I'm not Culver Berry. I'm not going to live that. There's no way. And there's nothing I can do. I could go for a Fire Blast, I guess, with the like I'm not taking any hits here. There's no reason to stall out time or anything like that. And he's Shed Skin, so I can't even like Toxic stall this thing. Freeze Dry Freeze, but can Shed Skin get you out of that? I don't even know. But he's going to Drain Punch and probably take me out. So yeah, I think this is where our team comes to. I think this team had more to give. I'm sad. I won't deny. I think this team had more to give than I gave it this week. I was worried about Mons and his team that didn't end up coming, and that's good prep on his part, right? Like you want to wait. We live a +4 Drain Punch. Wild, man, wild. Freeze it, and then we got a minute to figure out a way to win this game. There's no freeze there, and he outspeeds. So, yeah, I'm just going to let this battle end. I'd rather it end in a non-timer battle than in a timer battle. I always say that, and I will stick to it. Yeah, great game to my opponent. I think he did everything he needed to do to win. I can't believe I didn't prep for a bulk up rest Scrafty, because that's just a good mon, and something I should have had an answer for somewhere on my roster. And I think Surfetch was my answer because of the 50% chance to crit with close combat. I think I misplayed with that Surfetch. I don't think I should have let it take all that damage, but it was so tempting when it got Whirlwinded in. I hate Whirlwind, man. That thing always gets me. That thing always gets me. H-Pump's the best move to click and be locked into. And again, a crit does 50%. Oh, that does nothing. Knockoff's going to come out, timer's going to end, and everything ends on exactly 0. That's where we're at. We made semifinals in this league with a team that I didn't draft, but I ended up falling in absolute love with. Thank you all for watching, and I have another league coming up well, I have the TTM League right now, the TBL with Jolt that I'm doing on the TTM channel. So check that out. It's not going so well. I have another league starting up, the NWPL, which is starting up this week. Is my first week of battles, so there will be no break in content. You guys should actually see this go up this weekend, and then next week is going to be the upload for week 1 of the NWPL. So definitely no break in battles there. The TBL, the league that I run, which I will be streaming live, will be starting up in a few weeks as well. The draft's actually going to start next week, so we've got a lot of content coming out your way. And this, I wanted to win this league. I really, really did. I think this team had something more to give, and I think I could have actually had a chance to do that. But unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I will see you guys all back here next week. I do think, man, if I had Draco Meteor, or you know, the little differences. If I had crit with the Surfetched on the close combat, that could have potentially killed the Turtonator. That thing could have survived. If I could crit, if I had just done that little bit of extra chip to hit Powdon, so that thing wasn't alive, I could have potentially, I won't say I would have done it, but I could have potentially stalled out timer when I was up 5-4. That's crafty. Man, that thing was a nuisance to break. I didn't have enough special attacking offense to do it. And yeah, the Surfetch going down ended up being my downfall, and I knew it would be. But thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys all back here next week with the NWPL week 1. So we're going back to square one. We got to make it back through the regular season, but I love that team. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys haven't seen the draft analysis, I haven't recorded it yet. I'm not 100% sure I will. So if you guys haven't seen it, it may not exist. But if you have seen it, because it does exist, then you guys know that team looks super fun as well. So anyway, I will see you guys all back here next week. That's the end of the PBAL for me. There's one more week left. I'm not sure if either of the two people who made it to the finals are uploading, but thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys all back here as we continue on, because again, like I said, I am loving Pokemon content right now. Take care, everybody.